Have you ever imagined what it would be like if you could access the full power of your mind? What would happen to your life? The truth is that almost no one knows what really happens when we unlock this potential. It's not magic, it's not a trick, it's pure science. Now, imagine that you are limited, and this limitation is not in your body, but inside yourself, in your mind. The good news is that the key to unlocking all this potential is already inside you. In this video, I'm going to tell you what really happens when you start accessing the full power of your mind. And believe me, the results will surprise you. According to studies, we only use 10% of our brain. You've heard that, right? But what if I told you that this statistic is wrong? The truth is that the human mind is incredibly more powerful than most people realize. And more importantly, what you do with it can completely change your reality. Now, before you go any further, think for a moment. What if you were wasting 90% of your potential? What if, by unlocking that 90%, you could have complete control over your reality? What would you do with it? What would you be able to achieve? Let me tell you the story of a woman named Sophia. She had an ordinary life, without any major events, without any big dreams realized. But then one day, she made a decision to unlock the power of her mind. And suddenly, things started to change. Not only did she start making more assertive decisions, but she also noticed that her energy increased, her beliefs changed, and even her surroundings seemed to respond to her new mindset. Sophia was connected to her true power and, for the first time, she felt in control of her own life. Now, the question is, how did this happen? How did Sophia's mind go from an ordinary state to a state of maximum potential? And most importantly, what did she discover about the true power of the mind that you can also start applying? When we talk about unlocking the power of the mind, we are talking about something much more than just thinking positively. The key is to transform your perception, to access the part of the brain that controls our emotions, our thoughts, and our actions in a conscious way. And the secret? It is to take control over the automatic processes that normally control us without realizing it. Imagine, for example, that your brain has an automatic guidance system. It makes decisions quickly, without you having to think much about them. The problem is that these automatic processes can be limiting you in several areas of life. Have you ever noticed how you often feel like a hostage to your emotions? How a simple criticism or a stressful situation can throw you off balance? All of this happens because the brain, without your control, begins to dominate your automatic reactions. Now, what if you could reprogram these processes? What would happen if, instead of being a hostage to your emotions, you could control them? And what's more, unlock access to your creativity, your intuition, and your maximum focus? The answer lies in neuroplasticity. Have you heard of it? It's the brain's ability to reshape itself, to create new connections as we learn and change. What does this mean in practice? That you can literally train your mind to become the most powerful version of itself. It doesn't matter where you are right now, you can change the path of your brain and your future. Imagine your brain as a highway. The routes you've traveled many times before are well designed and mapped out. Now imagine that you can build new highways, new pathways for your thoughts, emotions, and actions. As you do this, you begin to create a new reality for yourself. A reality in which you choose how you react, how you act, and even how you feel. Let's look at a practical example of how this happens. When you start practicing meditation or creative visualization, you are actually teaching your mind to create new neural pathways. This will gradually transform your perception of the world and of yourself. You will begin to see yourself as someone capable of achieving impossible things, and this, in itself, will begin to change your reality. But what's interesting is that when you unlock the power of your mind, the results aren't immediate. In fact, changes can start to happen gradually. You start to notice small improvements, and with each victory, your control over your life increases. This process is like an accelerator. The more you dedicate yourself to understanding and applying this power, the faster you start to see results in your life. These changes can be subtle, like noticing that you no longer react the same way to stressful situations or how, over time, you become more focused and productive at work. Little by little, you start to realize that your potential goes beyond what you imagined. Imagine being able to manage stress, overcome your insecurities, make decisions with greater clarity, and even have a greater connection with your intuition. By unlocking all your mental power, you open doors to a world of infinite possibilities. The truth is that the human brain is capable of extraordinary feats. And you are just a few steps away from unlocking that potential. Now, you may be asking yourself, why didn't I learn this before? Why was I never told that my mind could be so powerful? The answer is simple, because most people still don't understand what it is capable of doing. We don't know how much we can transform our reality simply by accessing the power of our brain. But the good news is that you are starting to learn this now. And this knowledge can change your life in ways you never imagined. So what happens when you unlock the full power of your mind? You start living a fuller, more focused, more confident life with complete control over your actions, your emotions, and your future. You take control of your life. No matter what happened in the past, no matter where you are now, you have the power to change it all. And best of all, you've already started the journey. If you're ready to unlock your mind and create the life of your dreams, sign up now and don't miss the upcoming videos that will help you make the most of your potential. And share this with someone who needs to know about it too. The transformation starts now. Are you ready?